Hello, everyone. I'm Colin Tessier of WrestlZone.com, joined by Robert DeFelice to talk about Friday Night SmackDown on Black Friday. Robert, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Colin. You know, it's Black Friday. We had a Black Friday Battle Royal. Somebody got a deal of a lifetime. They're getting a title match against Roman Reigns, and it might not be who you expect. Am I right?
Not at all, Robert. Not at all. We'll get into all that and much more. Before I do, just want to remind you all that this show, everything we do here, is available on all of our platforms, where it's SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever it may be. We've got you covered. So leave a like and subscribe. I want to take a moment, Robert, even if it's a little belated, to say Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is as we're recording the day after Thanksgiving, so at least on the SmackDown show side of things, I didn't get the chance to really wish you guys happy holidays as much. Maybe last week. Time is a weird thing. I don't remember if I did or not. But I'll at least want to say in the moment, happy holidays. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, hope you had a good one. If you shop today, online or in person or whatever, I hope you had a good Black Friday as well.
Yes.
I'm very grateful for the chance to do this show and everything we do here at WrestlZone. Like, things are good. We talk about wrestling. We are absorbed in the wrestling world, and it's a good time most of the time. Not all the time, but lots more from some frustrations with things like we saw tonight, Robert. We might as well just dive right in. Because yes, as you mentioned, we did have the Black Friday Battle Royale as they were trying to hype up the Thanksgiving weekend edition of SmackDown. My girlfriend was watching at that point, and she said, I don't think that's a thing. It's not, there's not Thanksgiving weekend, but they were trying to make it special. You can't fault them for the effort. It's
clearly, she hasn't been watching long, because they'll make a thing out of anything.
Oh, that they will.
They'll make it's the first time ever that they're hosting a Black Friday Battle Royal on November 26th. You know, it's the first time ever. We're making history here, pal.
That we are, Robert, and well, not the historical part of this, because WWE, they don't like doing the hometown hero winning thing. They do it sometimes. I remember WrestleMania 35, pretty much all the hometown guys won, but more often than not, they're pretty much known for not giving the hometown guy or girl the big moment, whatever it might be, even if it's on a Raw or SmackDown. More often than not, if you're that's in your hometown, you're not going to win. And Jeff Hardy. Second time in the span of 6 days, this man just gets boned over hardcore. He was this close to winning a Survivor Series. Things go the other way. He was this close. He seemingly won for a moment this Battle Royale here. And Robert, I fell for it myself. I even said as soon as Sami Zayn went out the ring, I was like, all right, they're going to do something. And I bought it. I forgot that he went through the ropes and he snuck back in and he did the thing. He did the thing and he won and he eliminated Jeff Hardy in North Carolina, Hardy country, if you will. And the fans were chanting for Hardy. This was just on a silver platter, Robert. And they gave it to Sami Zayn. And I like Sami Zayn, all right, but I ask you, who in the world wants to see, or okay, I'll say not who wants to see. Who would genuinely believe Sami Zayn could actually beat Roman Reigns? Hardy, you still know that's inevitable, but that's at least a more interesting story. But this,
this Sami Zayn. This Sami Zayn ain't getting very far with Roman Reigns. That's okay, though, because we learned that there's another man on the horizon for Roman Reigns, and that is the Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar will be back next week, and I think Sami Zayn's just here to eat some F5s and, continue his conspiracy theory in that way. And I think Brock will eventually be the guy to get the match with Roman. But Jeff Hardy, that match is made. It's a made match. Whether it's a Chamber or Super Showdown or Day One or Rumble or even Mania at this point. Because if you're not going to have The Rock, it's unfortunate, but who can really beat Roman Reigns? Which isn't the way we should be thinking. But maybe it is Jeff.
I am like this either. I thought ending it like that, they bring Sami into the ring and Kayla Braxton comes out to interview him, and Sami can't even get a word in edgewise, and she's like, "Oh, wait a minute! Breaking news: Brock Lesnar's gonna be back." And then I thought, I'll finish my thought. I thought the undercut Sami winning, which is if you're gonna do that, you might as well kind of just go with it, and then to have that just kind of, because now no one's, people are talking about it now, but in terms of the takeaway from the show, the last thing thought is oh, Brock's returning, and that's all anyone really cares about. And And then, but the interesting thing is that when Kayla said this, Adam Pearce was at ringside, and he had just said earlier in the show he would be very surprised if or I think he said shocked if the suspension got lifted. And so they cut to him, and he was quite literally shocked.
He's mortified.
So that makes me think: is Sonya Deville pulling the strings, or more interestingly, is there another power that be, if you will? Is there someone else?
Well, what happened is, right, Vince McMahon, he shook Cleopatra's egg, and it said, "Break the suspension," and he did, because the egg, Colin, knows
all. Yes,
the egg knows all. We are here for the egg. What came first, the chicken or the egg? It's the egg, because the egg knows all.
For some reason, I got my hopes up that we'd escape the egg. I think they replayed a video package of it on Tuesday for NXT. Still couldn't escape it on Friday. Hopefully, we can move on from this.
No, you don't move on from the egg. The egg moves on from you.
As well as you were just saying, the egg knows all, and that's just saying the egg has power. The egg is the ultimate power here in WWE. I don't know. It's funny, Robert. Raw was actually on the egg stuff. Maybe Raw was I came out of Raw feeling pretty okay. NXT, even though they're gonna kill off the old NXT and gonna break my heart, at least it'll be a good story. So I came out of NXT feeling pretty good. Up to this point in SmackDown, I was feeling feeling all right. And then they had this, again, that silver platter, that made match with Jeff Hardy, the fans chanting his name pretty much in unison. And they don't do it. And now people are saying Sami getting screwed over again. That's just saying screw Sami again. David saying why he keeps screwing me over. He's got. I will say, ironically, this is maybe we give him too much credit. It's long-term booking because now the whole point is that he keeps getting screwed. It's this conspiracy. I don't think there's an end game to it, but at least they're being consistent with it, being like, oh, we're always gonna, Sami's always going to get the short end of the stick. So. At least that kind of makes sense. And Robbie, you said earlier, maybe they'll sort of lead to him getting F5'd out of his own pants next week. Who knows? But there are a couple of interesting things here. Drew McIntyre was initially left out, and this man was not having any of that. He comes out, brandishing his sword, nearly decapitates some dudes. And then, Robert, they cut to commercial with McIntyre in the ring, rightfully upset. Come back for commercial. Drew's gone. We have no idea how he left, how the man with a sword threatening to stab people in this ring was peacefully escorted away.
So rock smashes scissors, paper covers rock, scissors cuts paper, egg beats sword. Okay? And the egg said, Drew, you get out of here, you are not here. The egg decreed it, get out of here, you with your sword and whatnot. Get out of here. That's what happened. The egg said. Look, I
don't even know, man. I don't even know.
Here's the sad fact of it. I'm beginning to really worry that they're like, I don't know, man. Drew and Roman, that's your WrestleMania. And I'd be all right with that if it wasn't for the fact you got to smash Drew over. You can't have him go, I'm going to fight my way to the top. I'm going to beat Ricochet, damn it. No, if he's going to do that, he comes to SmackDown, he kicks Roman in the face. He kicks Brock in the face because he says, screw you, I beat you in 5 minutes, pal. You're nothing to me. And then you go, all right, it's Roman. Now, it could be Roman, Drew, and Lesnar. I don't know. But I'm beginning to think that they think it's Drew and Roman at Mania, and that's big as, Hogan and Flair.
On paper it should be, but based on, again, more so as you were saying with the way that Drew's been booked recently, maybe not so much. If not for the fact we got Roman in a triple threat match last year, I would say that probably would make sense. This past year, would make sense, but I don't think they do that 2 years in a row. But I do feel like that is a very likely, I guess, contingency plan where they might do that, if they can't get anything else. And that's just them able to do Drew and Roman at the Rumble. I more think I guess they could do Jeff and Drew for day one. Maybe that would make some sense. But I don't know. This is just, oh man.
I definitely think I thought it was Drew. I thought it was Jeff and Roman at TLC, but then they just said,
right.
we're not going to do TLC.
Maybe they'll do a TLC match at day one anyway, just to kind of get a best of both worlds thing. But Nestor's saying she's glad Drew wasn't in this Battle Royale. She's saying, we the people, getting tired of him. That's definitely the general sentiment that I've been seeing overall.
Jack Swagger's not on this show. He's not. He's over there on the other show. We the people are getting tired of anything.
I like that shout. That takes me back. But I mean, I will say I was a little down on to begin with this Battle Royale. We just saw a 25-man Battle Royale at the Survivor Series, so I was like,
my favorite thing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week was Omos wins T-shirt Battle Royale in 10 minutes. Like, what is this? It's just a T-shirt match.
That's a pizza match. That's what that was. But at least this... Well, actually, no. That wasn't this match. There's another match tonight that was sponsored by Taco Bell's new burrito. Like, oh my gosh.
When you hear the bell ringing, I don't even know how they wrestle. They should just go over to Taco Bell and eat tacos. Those commercials are some of my favorite things on TV right now. Where they're just like in the middle of this tense moment and they hear the bell ring and bye, I'm going to go get tacos.
There you go. Some peaceful conflict resolution there, much in the style of Joe Gacy over in NXT. But some support for Sammy. Michael Covington saying Sammy deserves a shot. He's never gotten a shot at the world title, at least not that I can recall.
I'm sure when Owens was champion, he must have gotten some kind of shot.
No, it's been a while. It's been a while, you know, and especially if his contract's coming up sooner. I mean, I think that's quite soon. That might be.
Listen, that's the best thing that could happen. Like, I want all the indie guys out of there. I want them out. They're not being treated right. I want them to go where they will be appreciated. I don't know what's Sammy's an interesting case, right? Because he's never had a gimmick outside of El Generico on the indies. So what do you do with him? He really can't be the generic luchador anymore.
It's true. You know? Yeah. Well, what would the Sami Zayn or free agent to be potentially look like in 2021? I don't know. Yet again, for me, it's like I want these guys to do well in WWE as a fan, but as always, now the narrative is shifting to maybe they'll be better off elsewhere. And if that happens, we will see. But for now, he's on SmackDown. He's getting a shot, presumably, at Roman's title. When that might be, I don't know. Have to imagine at some point soon, but I don't know. I don't think it's an actual match, no matter what. Whether, as you said, if it's brought,
I think it'll be very quick.
Yeah, and that's a shame. I think he deserves better than that, but nonetheless, another thing we had tonight, Robert, quite fittingly, the Thanksgiving leftovers. What was it? Thanksgiving leftovers, like throwdown. The Thanksgiving leftovers throwdown. That was it. WWE always with these very thematic things. Nothing much to write home about here. We had Angel, no longer Angel Garza. He has joined the one name club, facing off against Rick Boogs. And I thought it was funny that Pat McAfee is still very upset that Damian Priest smashed Boogs' guitar at Survivor Series.
Did you know that Priest is calling his outbursts his inner Damians? That's not good. I found out that on Sunday, and that's not good. I do think he will win the Royal Rumble, though. That's neither here nor there.
Not with this gimmick, pal. Like, no way. They had it like 2 months ago. Not now. I don't think no. I think by Rumble time they're going to be like, even if that might be the plan, they might someone else might get hot, and they might be like, yeah, maybe not, because this isn't working. At least not for me, not yet. Maybe they'll find their groove with it, but enter Damian's. No way. Yeah. Get that out of here. Oh my gosh. But thankfully,
we got Angel versus Boogs, and what is this? I like Boogs, right? Like, I'm not against Boogs, but it's just like, what is this? You get the Intercontinental Champion, and it's not like the Intercontinental Champion is a slouch. It's Shinsuke Nakamura. Why are you doing things with this?
I don't know. Steven Tabor's saying Nakamura better off getting rid of Boogs. I mean, at this point, Boogs would probably be fine on his own. Have him strum some guitar, do what he's going to do. Have him still, pal around with McAfee or whatever. But Nakamura, he was basically the manager in this match, as that has been the case several times now. So I will say, thankfully for me, I was very glad that Angel won. I thought Boogs would win this one, and to me, Angel, very much yet another one of those people that A, deserves better, B, could be doing so much better, and he could be a star if he's handled the right way, which has not really been the case so much for him on the main roster here. So thankfully, here it actually seems to be getting some momentum.
Then he was eliminated in the Battle Royal by
yeah. We saw that a couple times tonight where we had Ridge Holland pick up a very surprising. Well, actually, no, he lost for some reason. He lost his debut. I thought that match was a lock against Cesaro. It's like Ridge Holland entering a debut. You've got Sheamus there, a commentary, already distracting Cesaro somewhat, and then out of the blue, kind of a funky roll up, and Cesaro wins, and Holland loses his debut match. So that was a little surprising. And then, as you said, all these guys want to be in the Battle Royale later. Angel wins his singles match, and then he gets tossed out in Battle Royale pretty unceremoniously. Madcap Moss loses in a tag team match, gets three eliminations, and I what I believe was like an 18-person Battle Royale, so not too shabby there. A little surprising there, but I mean, it feels like Holland is someone they're high on because he got drafted up, so that's kind of inherently my stance on that they clearly wanted to bring him up like that, and now here he is kind of working.
I mean, not only did he get drafted, he survived the cuts.
Right.
Because you can get drafted and get cut, but
we learned. Yeah. So no, but that's why I thought it was surprising. It's like they clearly kind of high on him, or at least have some hopes for him, and then he has this in-ring debut and he loses. Not the best luck. If you remember the last guy who notably lost, well, one of the last guys who lost their in-ring debut on the main roster, Karrion Kross, we all know how that one turned out. But
well, again, you can get called up and get fired. Just a reminder.
Sidebar, I'm very grateful we can have a show this week and not have to talk about another round of releases. That is a good
God bless this company for not firing people on Thanksgiving.
They did it like the week before. So.
Right here. Like,
these are the depths that we have sunk to, like the smallest silver lining. Just like
really, I mean the silverest of linings, Colin.
Well, one thing that was not a silver lining was, well, at first, Charlotte had a pretty good promo, at least. I was curious to see what she would say about losing to Becky Lynch's Survivor Series. As you would expect, Becky did cheat, so she had that rightful excuse. And then she said, still maintained that she's responsible for all of Becky's successes. And she said, that she's still the best. And then she said, well, Becky's over on Raw, but I'm still the best on SmackDown. I thought that was a little silly. It was like, all right, but Becky beat you. And then Toni Storm comes out. They've been trying to set this up a little bit. Toni says, well, I knew Becky would beat you. I didn't know she beat you so badly. And then she, for some reason, she thought Charlotte was calling her out. And Charlotte's like, oh, I barely even know who you are. And then to put the icing on the proverbial cake, Charlotte threw pie in Toni Storm's face twice.
Oh God, Colin, come on, man. The line is right there. You put the whipped cream on the pie. You didn't put the icing on the cake. You put the whipped cream on the pie. Pie goes in the face.
I done goofed.
Pie goes in the face. I mean, this is cheeky. I don't like this.
It's a babyface move. Robert.
Yeah, but I don't care. Show getting a pie in the face. Thanksgiving was yesterday. Should be no full pies left.
This is true. Right? Where the pie come from?
They're come and gone. The pumpkin pies are gone. The chocolate cream pies are gone. Why is Charlie getting pie in the face? I don't like it.
I guess maybe they had a delayed catering celebration and they had maybe a surplus of pies nonetheless. But not just saying she was. Toni hit Charlotte the pie, and like I said, I thought that would make at least a little more sense. Still been a little goofy, but or on the other hand, maybe just have a full on food fight. Have them both toss some pie. If you got a surplus of pies,
or maybe just fight. Like
yeah, just
or
wrestle,
maybe you don't need to like. I'm gonna throw food at you. I'm gonna grab these mashed potatoes covered in gravy and throw it at you. Yeah. No, we could just fight, just fight.
But the food was thrown and it was very messy. And that reminded me about Pat McAfee's line of the night. I think it was during the Thanksgiving leftovers throwdown. He said, I think they had, I think when Humberto went through the table, it got really messy. And Pat McAfee, quote, literally, I kid you not, direct quote, it said, things are messy in my pants right now. I love this man. He is the GOAT. He makes SmackDown better, and I will not.
I hope that's gravy in his pants.
Good golly.
Pat's a little too old for it not to be gravy in his pants. But if it's messy in his pants, more power to it. Pat gets it. Pat McAfee gets it. I like
what a treasure. And that's the thing. She finally likes Pat McAfee. I liked him pretty quickly, especially, some of the other commentary teams we've had recently, new commentators we've had recently. He took right to it, hit the ground running. I think he's gotten even better ever since. I would love to hear if Vince McMahon had a reaction to that line, because obviously the classic narrative is that Vince is right in your ear, kind of supervising you. So
get it? He said he's messy in his pants like poo-poo. I like it.
Oh,
I like poo-poo.
Oh boy. That's not how I took it, but I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to talk about other stuff because oh boy. What else do we have? So we had a tag team match with Sonya Deville setting up a 2-on-2 thing here with Naomi and Sasha Banks facing Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Sasha got in Sonya's face saying she sabotaged her at Survivor Series because she had her with a team full of traitors. I still think that booking is very stupid. We had the team literally cost the captain the match, but I digress. So that's a good tag team match after Sasha, kind of said, oh, what's the problem, Naomi, blah, blah, blah. Sonya says, don't have a problem. Naomi gets the win here. Robert, I feel certain in my bones we're going to see the same exact thing as with Kevin Owens here that we saw with Sasha Banks. Like, I feel like it seems so obvious. It's like she's very much in that same vein of like, you can never trust her. She's going to turn at some point, whatever. Maybe to get a title shot or something, I could very much see that. Like, this is just something about it is just screaming like heel turn to me. I don't know. Even though she relatively, just came back from a brief break and is positioned as a face potentially against Charlotte. That's how I read it tonight. I don't know if you would agree, but I took me out of it a little bit.
They're firmly keeping her as a babyface. I think that's just the way they want to go. Maybe she wins the Rumble. I'm already thinking Rumble. I've moved past December mentally. We're in Rumble mode, and I think she could win the Rumble. I like seeing her paired with Naomi. Team Bad, I'm all about it, man. I am all about Team Bad. I was a huge fan. Still am. I think Naomi deserved a better run. I think Sasha's one of the best in the world. Shotzi's fantastic, right? And Shayna Baszler is the most underutilized woman in maybe all of wrestling because she's a legit killer. And you're just like, but can you entertain though? And it's like, yeah, man, she can entertain by knocking people's heads off. Do that. And they don't.
Yeah. She is still criminally misused. At least she's like part of the storyline. Again, we're searching for silver linings here. So hopefully maybe the wins will start coming sooner rather than later. She got a couple of screw job wins, but obviously those are, very, very much tainted here. But yeah, I guess I would agree. It was just weird. I couldn't help but get that out of my mind watching this. Like, there's one point where Naomi was kind of staring down Sonya, and Sasha was like kind of behind her. I was like, oh, she's gonna turn. So maybe I'm biased by the Raw side of things here.
You're ready for that turn, Colin. Who hurt you? Why aren't you willing to trust people? It's the holidays.
It's true. Gotta believe in the holiday spirit here.
Why can't you trust people, Colin? What is it? Let's dive into that.
I was the therapy. I haven't figured that one out, Robert, but I digress.
Well, this is why we're here. We're here not only for the SmackDowns, we're here for the soul.
Oh, SmackDown soup for the.
That's right, for the soul. Because you need it, I need it. Listen, we're all watching a very bad product right now. We all need a little bit of chicken soup for the soul.
That we do. And that's what I call AEW. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. I damn sure do. I'm not kidding.
Boy. Well, we look for the silver linings here.
We have a good time here on the show. That's the silver lining is we have a good time here.
The product may be bad sometimes, but we always try to have a good show. And to have fun with it, to make the most of it, to just, to make the silver linings even where they're difficult to find. But one thing to look forward to maybe is a potential blow off here with Sonya Deville and Naomi. We've seen this in the works for a while now. Admittedly, I'm surprised this has been going on this long. So I feel like maybe the Rumble, or
I'll say this: they should have gotten the pie exchange. I think I would have liked the pie exchange here, where it seems like it fits this narrative more, where it's more petty. And You got pie in your face. Ah, you suck. And like that seems like what this feud is.
And that would have been a little better because Sonya wearing a suit, it's a little more, you play up on that like humiliation aspect, I guess. I could see that. And then probably would be better than Charlotte being the pie thrower. That to me that seemed a little funky. But maybe with Eddie here chipping in, saying maybe we'll do a steel cage match, and Sonya loses, she'll lose the power as the authority figure.
Wish, pal. You wish they'd give Naomi a steel cage match. I got news for you, pal. They will not give Naomi a steel cage match. Here's a silver lining, though. This is more on the Raw side of things. But during the commercial tonight, they said Edge was returning on Raw. And that alone says, oh boy, Monday will be worth watching.
Yes. So there you go. Give him at least like solid hour on what we said. Let's give him a microphone.
Yeah, I think you give Edge a third of the show, and I think we're good.
He's in that Roman Reigns territory where like I can't be that upset if they give him several segments, 20 minutes of talk. I don't even care at this point. Just like put Edge on my TV and I'll be a happy camper. But Ness should not a happy camper because she's saying it's taking too long to get to Naomi and Sonya. Should have happened already. I said I was surprised. Like, I don't think it's taking too long. I think they're still building up and like drawing out that.
I think it's taking too long.
Okay.
I think you need to get to the point where you're like, hey, Sonya, you're not an authority. Get in the ring or you're fired. And then it's like, okay, she gets in the ring and maybe she loses. And she can win the Women's Royal Rumble because she's fantastic. And she had a run that was derailed by an absolute jerk. And she deserves better.
She does. So I look forward to that day assuming she does come back, and I would imagine that she will. I think the Rumble would be a good way to do it, or this feud. I would think this feud with Naomi would be a good way to lead to that. But maybe another direction here. Brian Everett saying maybe Naomi needs to be part of the bloodline. That's been
see they have sucked that out of the brain, haven't they? Because like they're not even remotely close to that, are they? You know what you do though? You put the belt on Sasha. And then Naomi joins the bloodline, and then we have a story, right? Because then you just get Tamina. I don't know what Tamina is. Maybe she's on Raw. Doesn't matter. You put her over back in the bloodline, and you go, boom, there's your story. There's old Team Bad nonsense. That's your WrestleMania right there. I mean, there it is. And if anybody deserves a single title match at WrestleMania, it's Naomi. And there you go. I just booked your WrestleMania. You're welcome.
There you go. Much better than the earlier when we were talking about maybe the contingency plans for Roman Reigns here, but that actually sounds pretty darn good, and hopefully we get there. But we've got a long way to go. But tonight was yet another step along the way. So, Robert, on the special Black Friday edition of Friday Night SmackDown, what did you think of the show overall?
Well, I think as a part of the Black Friday deals, you cut your normal ratings in half, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it 3.5. Sucked. I would normally give it a 7, but this show sucks. Like, let's be real. What do we got going on here? We got nothing. All right? Talk to me next week when there's a star of the show called Brock Lesnar. You got Sami Zayn being a funny guy, and you got Roman Reigns, and I'm all for it.
So 3.5 is your actual rating?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Now show the 5, not too far off.
So if anybody is concerned about my 1 through 10 rating of Friday Night SmackDown, I implore you for this Thanksgiving and this Black Friday to find something better to do with your hobbies. These are just my random opinions.
And you're entitled to them. I didn't think it was that bad. And like, to me, it takes a lot to go to 3.5. I didn't think it was that bad. But at the end, definitely, I was ragging on that for good reason. So, I can't disagree. Ness again with a 5. So for me, 7. Brian Everett was a 7 for Brock being back helped.
Well, Brock wasn't back, but
they announced it. Having that hook at the end always helps. And then you have something more.
Hook.
So I see that.
Hook always helps the show. Have you seen AEW when Hook is on the show? All bets are off, pal. When Hook is on the show, that's it.
Kevin with a 6.2. I'm still trying to come up with my number because I don't want to go too low based on my frustrations with the main event notwithstanding. But I would say below average. So I'd go with the SmackDown scale. I'll go for a generous 6. A generous 6. I don't think it was that bad. Pat McAfee entertained me with his line about messy pants, so can't be too upset. All things said. Michael with an 8. Pretty good there. I'm saying the Hardy Pop plus Battle Royale made it a good show. Kayla, stay sexy. There you go. Kayla and her supposedly fake journalism.
I didn't know that was being taken into account there, Michael. I mean, my God. Please, we're a family show.
They're allowed to say, they're allowed to say sexy. On NXT, they're saying nutless and gutless, and who even knows what over in NXT land. So they're well within the confines of a family show. It's when still playing up on that side of things. But that's just saying it was not a bad show. It was just a normal SmackDown. When that's the best show of the week, that does kind of drag things down a little bit. Because usually, at least I would say for me, I look forward to SmackDown when it maybe doesn't quite hit the mark as much. You feel a little bit more. But nonetheless, as you said, Robert, we've got Raw to look forward to. Edge will be back. We're going to see Big E facing Kevin Owens again. Maybe not so good there. It'll be a good match. It'll be fun. They announce things, and that's good. It's good to have things to look forward to, not just randomly riding blind into a show and not knowing what's going to happen as they often do. So it's good to have things to look forward to. John Cochran will be here on Monday to talk all about it. Otherwise, the two Dynamite Tudes on the Rampage cover all things AEW. We might not be here next week because I might be covering a GCW show. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but I would imagine that's the case.
Listen, we're always here in your heart.
That we are. But whenever possible, we are here talking about SmackDown, trying to enjoy the show. Kind of hell or high water, that we do. And otherwise, we've got a great stream of interviews coming at you, whether it's Bill Purser recently interviewing. Oh gosh, I more than I can even name. He just interviewed Booker T. He's interviewed Mercedes Martinez. Dominic D'Angelo interviewed Mick Foley. Oh my gosh, we've got so many great interviews.
Mick Foley. I mean, there's an interview in there with the Fonts. Henry Winkler, man. Henry Winkler is interviewed. Go check that out. Go check out all the interviews. Go back in the archives. Check out those interviews. Check out the interviews with Seth Rollins and Jon Moxley. And, everybody under the sun. His guy interviewed Matt Cardona.
I'm hopeful. For him. I'm hopeful I might swing another one because he's going to be doing some big things sooner rather than later. So
that's a big moment for this guy. And this guy also interviewed a ton of Ring of Honor people before everything went downhill. Go check that out. Because you know what? We're not going downhill. We're going up, baby. No regret. All right?
That's the goal.
And you enjoy wrestling. Colin.
I try my best, Robert. I try my best. And doing these shows with you, doing these shows here, talking to y'all makes them that much easier to do that. So with that, appreciate you. And everybody, I thank you for listening as always. For me, thought about it a lot this week. I'm so grateful for all of your support with these shows, for tuning in. Robert, I did a show on Sunday night after Survivor Series. John was over in Brooklyn, so I was running it by myself. These people stayed up to 1 a.m. Eastern time to talk about wrestling with me. I'm like, that is a wonderful thing. Because Survivor Series went so late, and I just had to run through the show. I was going off the comments, and they're saying,
"My God, Colin is devoted." You need more people in your lives, ladies and gentlemen, like Colin. He is the man. Keep supporting him. Keep supporting the WrestlZone. And yeah, man, we'll be back here next week, maybe, or maybe not. And then we'll be back the week after. Either way, enjoy wrestling.
Indeed. And sincerely, thanks for listening, everybody. Appreciate you.